Welcome to New Light Streaming Love and Sassy Seer Sheila. If you are new here, hope you'll decide to subscribe. If you are returning, welcome back. Appreciate your being here. This is another of Jason Gray's writings, and it is entitled, You Are Not the Reflection in the Mirror. You are the gospel yet to be written. You stand there in front of the mirror. You see your face. You see your name. You see the shell you were told to become. You believe it is you. It is not. It is not you. That is a mask crafted by memory, emotion, indoctrination, and repetition. That is the sum of every program you mistook for personality. That is the reflection of your programmed identity. It is not you. You are not the reflection. You are not your trauma. You are not your success. You are not your faith, your nation, your political party, your job title, or your wounds. You are pure consciousness, dreaming inside a vessel, trapped in a story you didn't write, but you could. The great idol worship. Everyone is worshiping something. Some worship a man in the sky. Some worship the man in the mirror. Some worship crystals, some worship crypto, some worship fame, brands, bodies, preachers, algorithms, feelings, filters, diets, trends, politics, and power. It is all the same thing. External validation, external authority, external salvation. Everyone has a gospel, except it is always someone else's. We cling to them like lifeboats in the ocean of our own forgotten divinity. We don't write, we repeat. We do not remember, we regurgitate. Scriptures, quotes, hashtags, dogmas, all of it borrowed, all of it recycled, all of it safe. When did your soul last speak something that shook the sky? When did your hands last write truth that made your bones tremble? When did you last remember what you were before you were named? Before the mirror, before the mask, before the church, before the school, before the likes, before the labels. You were trained to be a character, not a creator. From birth, they gave you lines. This is who you are. This is your name. This is your skin color. This is what to believe. This is who to worship. This is how the world works. They handed you a script. They taught you your part. They told you the story was written. You began living inside the narrative instead of questioning it, instead of writing your own. What if the entire play was a lie? What if you were never meant to be the actor? What if you were meant to be the author? The mirror is the last illusion. The body you see is temporary. The name you bear is borrowed. The history you cling to is edited. The awareness, the fire that watches it all unfold, that is real. That is eternal. It has no beginning. It has no end. It was never Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, atheist, conservative, liberal, broken, saved, straight, gay, or enlightened. It simply is. You can only access it once you stop identifying with the mask, once you stop speaking in the tongues of men and begin listening to the silence of source within you, until you finally stop echoing someone else's gospel. You will never hear your own. Write your own gospel. This is it. The only liberation, the only salvation, the only resurrection that ever mattered. Write your own gospel. What would it say? Would it start with, in the beginning was God, or would it start with, in the beginning was me? What is me exactly? Would it tell you to fear? Would it tell you to rise? Would it command you to kneel? Would it awaken the throne within your being? Would it speak of sin? Would it speak of forgetting and the path back to remembrance? Would it speak of prophets? Would it crown you as the one who finally stopped repeating and started creating? That is what the true gospel is. Not a collection of books, not a doctrine, but a transmission from soul to page, from breath to symbol, from flame to word. You do not need to recite verses. You need to become one. We are beyond lost. Let's not sugarcoat it. Humanity is lost. Deep in illusion, it's convinced the script is the self. Immersed in doctrine, it cannot recognize the cage. So obsessed with being seen, it has forgotten how to look within. So addicted to worship, it has forsaken creation. There is no salvation in mimicry. There is no awakening in borrowed beliefs. There is no remembrance in spiritual cosplay. There is only fire. It must be lit from the inside. You do not need to find a new religion. You do not need a new identity. You do not need to be accepted. You do not need to be understood. You need to burn down everything you were programmed to believe about who you are and write it all anew. Not for them, for you. For you, for the return. This is the gospel of you. Not the gospel of fear, not the gospel of sin, not the gospel of external saviors and invisible kings, the gospel of flame, the gospel of truth, the gospel of the unspoken name that only you can hear. It begins the moment you stop worshiping the mirror and start becoming the fire behind it. Write it, speak it, live it. Watch the world tremble. Nothing is more powerful than a soul who no longer seeks truth, but becomes it. Wow. Jason. Oh my. this just wangs me, man. The truth of that. Don't ask me how to do it because I don't know, but I feel like these words are so. And I feel like that's part, all of this, my coming across Jason's writings, all of this was by design of mine in some way, shape, or form. Where it's all going to lead, how it's all going to play out for me, I have no idea. But it's all about getting to the truth of who I am, which has been my sole quest for the last 8 years, 8 or 9 years, really, in earnest. Well, all my life now, I see it very clearly, but in a very real, conscious way. And it becomes more conscious every day. That standing in it, that it's, yeah, I know I don't need to be accepted and I don't need to be understood. And I am very well aware that my presence makes some very uncomfortable. And I think it is just that right there. Interesting that. Fodder for more conscious conversation. It is my sincere hope that very soon more and more of us will be having conscious conversations about just this sort of thing. So if you are resonating with any of this, reach out to me, consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. Let's have conscious conversation. Comment about what this evokes for you. I would love to hear. And what does it do for your vessel? My whole body is just pulsing right now, as I've read this for myself all at the same time as recording it for you. Until we meet again, my friends, be well.